much for clicking on my channel. Well, all smiles over here. I am with Sonja. It's like asking a question. Will Sonja help you keep a smile for today? And hopefully the answer is yes, you guys. I'm trying not to keep it long, but y'all already know. If it gets good, I'm going to keep on talking. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The golden nugget today is trouble don't last always. But before I get to running my mouth, let's go ahead and shake up this manifestation jar, and then we're going to do what? Talk about it, okay? Let's see. All right, let's see. I pulled one, and that one says what? Spiritual growth, which is the same as spiritual discovery, and we'll take that all day long. Listen, trouble don't last always, which means what? Trouble has to die. Now, you may be asking yourself, why is it taking so long for me to manifest? Okay, it's been taking too long. That means where your troubles are lasting longer than what they're supposed to. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's because your troubles aren't dying. You're keeping them alive. You have your troubles and your problems on life support. And you're doing that by what? Giving them glory. Talking about them. All the time, you're talking about the problem. Talking about the trouble. And you know, if you're talking about it, you most certainly thinking about it. And you know the saying, as a man thinketh, so is he. So listen, if you're going to see change, get the manifestation, you got to allow that trouble, that problem to do what? Die. In other words, you got to pull the plug. Pull the plug. And how are you going to pull the plug? You're going to stop talking about that thing. Because truth be told, y'all, when you're not all the way aligned and connected, not knowing who you are at core, or maybe you know who you are at core, but you're not applying that thing. When you talk about the problem or the trouble, then you're talking about it from a place of hopelessness. You're talking about it from a place of fear, from a place of doubt, from a place of frustration, from a place of loneliness. And the more you do that, the more you give it life. And then what? That trouble, that problem seems to last always to make you think that it's taking forever for you to receive your what? Manifestation. The manifestation is available. It's in the birthing canal, ready to be delivered unto you. But guess what? You can't receive your manifestation if your problems or troubles are still breathing, if they're still living, right? You can't, your manifestation is not going to come and dwell in the same place as your problem. Say, for instance, maybe you have an illness, a sickness, right? Your manifestation is healing. In order for your healing to take place, the sickness has to die. Y'all get that? It has to die. You gotta pull the plug. Let it die. Because trouble doesn't last always. You know the saying, when something dies, something is born. There is a balance. Some of y'all want the manifestation to come and live with the problem. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to decide to be the doctor at core and tell that problem, that trouble of a patient what the truth is. And what's the truth? You'll look at that sickness and say, sickness, illness, you are going to die. You will look at that situation of what? Lack of financial stability. You look at it and say, what? You are going to die. And you look at other troubles and problems in your life and say, you are going to die. And maybe those troubles and problems may turn back and look at you and say, how do I know that's the truth? And you will look back at it when you know who you are at core and you apply that thing and say, what? Because I have record here that healing is supposed to take place. I have record here that financial abundance is going to take place. I have record here that what? A new car is in the making, that a new house, spiritual discovery, a baby, a marriage is going to take place. So loneliness, you gotta die. And when you have that truth, it'll be easy for you to do what? Pull the plug. Therefore what? The trouble, the problem will die and make room for the manifestation to what? Come on in. So now you have to ask yourself, have I been keeping my troubles and my problems on life support? Have I been performing CPR on them every time they're about to die? Because truth be told, when you get used to being around a problem, being in a problem, It's hard to accept the change. Because when you pull the plug, peace comes in. It does. And if you haven't felt peace in a long time, it'll feel weird and strange to you. And a lot of times that has happened to y'all. That problem was dying and you weren't used to all that peace. You weren't used to that goodness that was coming in. So you sabotaged it and you went, gave it life. That problem again. You gave it life again. Put it on life support. Some of y'all went back to some exes that you know they ain't who you supposed to be with. Are you listening to me? Some of y'all went back to some old jobs that you know that ain't where you supposed to be working. You supposed to be an entrepreneur. You know this. But you're keeping things alive, these troubles and these problems, because you've gotten used to them. If you want to manifest, the trouble, the problem has to die. Why? Because trouble doesn't last always, which means what? You gotta pull the plug. Pull the plug. Let me tell y'all something that I used to do way back when ago. Before I knew who I was at core, which means knowing that God was in me, that me and God were one, right? Y'all, I would be having my troubles and problems and whatnot. And I'll be in there praying, God, you are right now, God. I know you can make it happen right now. You're right now, God. Your word won't return back until you born. I was just quoting scriptures and quoting all kinds of stuff and just telling God all about it. But while I was praying and crying, my tears tasted like despair. My tears tasted like hopelessness. My tears tasted like fear. My tears tasted like what? Doubt. My tears tasted like worry. Which means what? It was vibrating something that was not aligned with who I was. Which means what? I was canceling out my prayers. So a lot of times when you're praying and you're crying your little heart out, you got to watch how you're crying over there. Because if you were crying like me, that means you were still giving that problem, that trouble, some life. Providing life support for it. You cannot be over there boo-hooing with your tears tasting like fear, doubt, worrisome, hopelessness, despair. No. If you're going to have some tears, they got to be tears of joy. Because when you know who you are at core and you apply that thing, then you know the truth. It should be tears of excitement, tears of expectancy, tears of joy, tears of happiness, tears of gratefulness. And when you're in that state, you won't even talk about the trouble. You won't even give it no type of attention. You won't be telling your troubles to pose because you're taking a picture or you recording. You won't be over there giving it no type of attention. Why? Because your focus, your attention will be on the what? On the real deal, which is what? The manifestation. It's the manifestation. Yeah, you saw the trouble, you see the trouble, but you also see with your spiritual eyes and hearing with your spiritual ears and sensing from within of who you are at core, what? The truth. And the truth is, healing is on schedule. Yes, it is. The new house is on schedule. Yes, it is. The new car is on schedule. The spiritual growth is on schedule. Financial abundance is on schedule. It's on schedule to arrive on time. You're not worried about time anymore. You're not worried about it. Why? Because you know now everything is just the way it's supposed to be right now. And you're focused on what? The real deal, the real reality. Therefore, you will keep the plug unplugged. You will no longer give that trouble, that problem, life support. Why? Because you are allowing it to die so that when your manifestation can be born. Y'all get it? Did I add an ED on that born? I did. I think I just supposed to say born. Yeah, I think so. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Trouble don't last always. Allow it to die so that you can receive. Your manifestation is on the way. I hope y'all got this thing. But if you didn't, you better do what? rewind this thing and watch again. In the meantime, in between time, if you take just a little bit of what I'm telling you and apply to your life, apply to your life, apply to your life, apply to your life to the best of your ability, you won't ever have to mask a smile. Why? Because your smile will always be genuine. I'll talk to y'all soon. Be blessed, stay blessed, be blessed, stay blessed, be blessed, stay blessed. Trouble doesn't last always. Let it die so that your manifestation can be born.